What's going on, guys? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the limited edition Arcade1Up Burger Time cabinet. Now, before we get started, full disclosure, this was sent over by Arcade1Up. I'm not being paid to make this video. All opinions are my own. I simply received the unit for review, and that's what I want to do. So this cabinet has some really awesome Burger Time styling, but one of the games I'm really excited about isn't Burger Time at all. It's actually Caveman Ninja. One of my favorite games of all time is Joe and Mac for the SNES. It also released on the Sega Genesis. Basically, Data East released Caveman Ninja for arcades, and then it was later ported to different consoles. And Joe and Mac was one of those games that my parents rented for me when I was younger, and we never ended up returning it. It was just one of those games that stuck with me, and I played it all the time. So the Burger Time cabinet does come with a really nice riser and a lit marquee. Unfortunately, this is only using a single speaker setup, but if you keep in mind these games never used stereo sound when they were in the original arcade, then you're totally fine with a single speaker. So in this video, I want to take a look at the components used inside of the control panel. We'll also take a look at the main board to see if we can find out what CPU this is running. But these games really didn't require that much, so I'm pretty sure it's their low-end H3 or even lower than that. And then after I get this all assembled, we'll test out each and every game, and I'll let you know what I think about this cabinet. So first up, we have the control panel. I just pulled the back housing off. These are not Sanwa sticks, but they're pretty much Sanwa clones. I've had really good luck with these in the past, especially on the Ninja Turtles cabinet and their Marvel cabinet. These are a big upgrade from the original first-gen Arcade1Up leaf spring design. These do use the micro switches, so they're really good to go. And the buttons on this unit are very easily replaceable. You don't have to do any soldering whatsoever. Moving over to the main board attached to the back of the LCD. Unfortunately, they do have the heatsink glued to this CPU, and I'm not going to try to pry it off. I don't want to damage this board before I even get to play it one time. But maybe later on down the road, I can pull this off and see exactly what this thing is running. I got a good feeling it's the all-winner H3, or it could even be the older version of the A12. And as for I/O, we have our power in. There's a micro USB port here, and I had never figured out what this is for. We also have our 3.5mm audio jack, so we can connect it to the speaker, and we have power for the marquee light. In this video, I'm not going to go over the assembly instructions. It comes with everything you need. There's also tutorials online. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing all together so we can see how it looks and performs. So here it is. We have that lit marquee, and I think it looks really good. I love the shape of this cabinet. If you're into Burger Time, this is something you'll definitely need in your collection. It is a beautiful cabinet. Now, they're still very small when you compare them to a full-size arcade cabinet, even with the riser, but unless you're 6'4", you won't have to hunch over much to play this thing. Just turn the power switch on, we get this marquee, and it looks really good. No hot spots whatsoever. I think there's a film over here that I can peel off, but I think it looks good enough like it is. Now, one thing you might notice is there's 4 joysticks on this unit. This is not a 4-player cabinet. This is a 2-player cabinet at most. But if you remember correctly, Karate Champ didn't use buttons. It used 2 arcade sticks, or 2 sticks, to control the character and make him fight. So that's what those extra sticks are for, but each one of these sticks will work in the other game. So if you just want to use the far left-hand side stick for, let's say, Caveman Ninja, you can do that, or use the center stick for Burger Time. Either one works. And like with all of the new Arcade1Up machines, we get this full volume control here. We have 15 levels of volume control, and even though this has a single speaker, it actually sounds really great. It's right underneath the marquee above the screen. And to exit a game, or if you accidentally choose a game that you don't want to play, just hold the first player button for about 5 seconds. It'll back you back into the menu. Same thing with playing a game. If you want to exit the game, just hold this button for 5 seconds. It'll bring you right back. So now I think it's time to get into some testing. We have Burger Time, Karate Champ, Caveman Ninja, and Bad Dudes. So first up, we have Burger Time. I personally haven't played this game in a very long time, so I'm sure I'm not going to do well here. They've actually set it up so the first player button is start and insert coin. So you'll press that, it'll also insert a coin and start the game. And it looks like I'm stuck here. They got me. I'll go ahead and try one more time. I at least want to build one burger. I'm so close. I don't think I'm going to do it. So like I mentioned, if you want to exit a game, you'll just hold the first player button for about 5 seconds. It'll bring us right back into the main menu. We'll go ahead and check out Karate Champ, and when you start each one of these games, it'll give you a control layout. As you can see, this is telling me I need to use both joysticks.
Boom. Half point. Boom. Half point. Boom.
So Burger Time and Karate Champ work very well, and I expected them to. We'll move over to Bad Dudes, and then we'll finally get into Caveman Ninja. And finally, we have Caveman Ninja. So this is one of my favorite games, at least the Joe and Mac version for Super Nintendo, but the arcade version is also equally as fun in my opinion. So overall, I love the design of the cabinet. I think the Riser and the Marquee definitely set it off, and I'm glad that they kept the original shape of the Burger Time arcade cabinet. It just looks amazing on this quarter scale cab. So like I mentioned, Arcade1Up did send this over for a review. This is an early look at it, and basically this is what you're going to get if you do a pre-order on their website right now. But the price on this is a bit hefty, especially with the games that they're providing here. Now, if you're a big fan of the games that are included, then it might not be an issue. But at $399, I do think the price is a bit high, especially if you're not really into the games or you have an attachment to the games that are included here. But it's really up to you. I will leave links to Arcade1Up's website in the description in case you want to go over there and check this out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But like always, thanks for watching.